Oh, Sir Reads a Lot.
Well, hiya, Dr. G.
Well, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty great, as usual.
Yes, you always seem chipper. I love it. And it is good to, obviously to be chipper now. You got springtime in central Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
The weather is getting nicer. So what other nice things do you like to do outside during the springtime when you get outside?
Well, most people go swimming. I do the same.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be pretty good. I mean, where do you swim around the castle?
Well, of course, since it's a castle, we have a huge moat.
Ooh, a moat. Now, let me ask you. So, typically, I think about the moat, having, maybe some fish or something in there that maybe protects the castle, maybe piranha or crocodiles or alligators. Do you swim in there?
Oh, no, Dr. G, we don't have any of those scary animals, but we do have a really big fish.
Oh, yeah? What do you have in there?
Well, he's the protector of the castle, and he keeps the whole castle safe, and I don't think we could do without him. He's my pet goldfish, Jim.
Oh, of course. Your pet goldfish, Jim. He's the protector of the castle.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, if as long as that makes you feel safe. So when you're in the moat swimming, what do you do? Front stroke, backstroke? Tell me about that.
Well, normally, I resort to the one-handed backstroke.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but what ends up happening is it doesn't look like I'm going anywhere. Like, I never see the back of the castle.
Just keep going in circles. And I suspect it is probably one-handed because, with that sword in one hand, it's really difficult to stroke or paddle with that.
Yeah, it just slices through the water because it's so cool.
Oh, I bet. Well, I have got a special reader for you today.
Really, Dr. G?
Yeah, I have got senior C.J. Reynolds. C.J., want to come join us?
Hi.
Hi, C.J. What do you do at the high school?
Ooh, where do I start? I'm in the Lancer Band as a trombone, and I was just in the play as Dimitri and a stage manager. I'm also involved in the tech team, and I just hang around here and do what I can to keep everything afloat.
Yeah, I think CJ's understating it a bit. He is very involved at the high school, and congratulations on Dimitri and the lead. That was fantastic.
Thank
really
you.
Enjoyed that.
It sounds like your schedule is chock full.
Sometimes it feels like it.
So, CJ, what do you have? What book do you have for us today?
I have A Visitor for Bear by Bonnie Becker.
Oh, well, that sounds great.
Well, let's get to the reading.
All right. A Visitor for Bear by Bonnie Becker. No one ever came to Bear's house. It had always been that way, and Bear was quite sure he didn't like visitors. He even had a sign. One morning, Bear heard a tapping on his front door. When he opened his door, there was a mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. "No visitors allowed," Bear said, pointing to the sign. "Go away." He closed the door and went back to the business of making his breakfast.
Oh, poor mouse.
He set out 1 cup and 1 spoon. But when he opened the cupboard to get 1 bowl, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. "I told you to leave," cried Bear. "Perhaps we could just have a spot of tea," said the mouse. "Out," commanded the bear. "Most sorry," said the mouse. "I'll be going now." Bear showed him to the door and shut it firmly.
The mouse seems nice.
He does. When he went back to the business of making his breakfast, but when he opened the bread drawer for 1 slice of bread, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. "Unbelievable," rumbled Bear. "Away with you, vamoose." "I do like a bit of cheese," said the mouse. Bear pointed a rigid claw towards the door. "Yes, then, here I go," said the mouse. "Farewell." And the mouse whiskered out the door. This time, Bear shut the door very firmly and locked it tight. He locked the windows too, for good measure. Then once again, he went back to the business of making his breakfast. But when he opened the fridge to get 1 egg, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed, of course. "Be gone," roared Bear. Crackling fire? Ventured the mouse. This is impossible, intolerable, insufferable, cried Bear, shaking with anger and disbelief. Terribly sorry, murmured the mouse. Now you see me, now you don't. I am gone. And the mouse looked very sorry indeed while he waited for Bear to unbolt the door and let him out again. This time, before he went back to the business of making his breakfast, Bear shut the door very, very, very firmly, locked it, boarded the windows shut, and even plugged the drain in the bathtub. Carefully, Bear set about the business of making his breakfast. He opened the cupboard, no mouse. Ah. He opened the bread drawer, nothing. Whew. He opened the fridge, mouse free, yes indeed. He lifted the lid to the tea kettle. There was the mouse, small and gray, and well, you know the rest. Bear fell to the floor and wept. I give up, he blubbered. You win. I am undone. So sorry, said the mouse, but perhaps if I could have just a bit of cheese and a cup of tea, and do you think we could unstopper the chimney and have a nice fire? Bear blew his nose with a loud honk. But then you must go, he sniffled. No visitors allowed. You have my word, said the mouse. Bear unshuttered and unboarded the windows, unlocked the door, unstoppered the chimney, and unplugged the drain. He brought out 2 plates of cheese and 2 teacups, and he made a crackling fire in the fireplace for 2 sets of toes. The mouse warmed his feet and nibbled and sipped, and the bear did too. They sat for a long while. The clock in the bear's house ticked loudly.
How peaceful.
Bear cleared his throat. Mouse looked most attentive. No one had ever been most attentive to Bear. This fire is nice, Bear announced. Lovely, said the mouse. No one had ever said Bear's fires were lovely. I could do a handstand, said Bear. Very impressive, exclaimed the mouse. Bear told a joke. The mouse laughed heartily. No one had ever laughed at a bear's joke before. Bear began to think of another joke. The mouse set down his teacup. Bear quickly lifted the teapot. There's plenty more, he said. So sorry, said the mouse, most kind, but I must be on my way. Really, you needn't go, said Bear. I am off, said the mouse, springing up from his chair. Wait, cried Bear. But the mouse stepped out the door. Toodaloo, said the mouse. Don't go, wailed Bear, throwing his body across the path. But I gave you my word, said the mouse, pointing at the no visitor sign. Oh, that, cried Bear, pulling down the side and tearing it up. That's for salesmen, not for friends. Not for friends? Asked the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. Bear nodded. The mouse's bright eyes glowed brighter. Bear smiled.
How sweet.
Do you like 1 lump or 2? Said Bear most politely. I like 2, said the mouse, and Bear agreed. The end.
Wow, that was a great story, CJ. I'm glad they became friends.
Me too.
And we'll see you next time. Remember, it's Lancer time!